Today's topic is what writers can learn from the great English playwright William Shakespeare. So if you've got 5 minutes, I've got 5 tips from the bard himself. Well, I'll bet you didn't know that Shakespeare had tips for writers. He probably didn't know that either. The fact is that we've been quoting Shakespeare for years, even inadvertently. There are many aspects of our language, our idioms that are in the English language that were first created by William Shakespeare. Did you know that the word puking was first used in Shakespeare's play As You Like It? Or did you know that the term vanish into thin air came from Othello, was first used then? Or how about when you say someone has a method to their madness? Did you know that that came from Hamlet? Though this be madness, yet there is method in it. That was the line. And there are lots more. How about wild goose chase? Green-eyed monster, break the ice, the list goes on. And all of these idioms came from Shakespeare. So we quote him all the time, even if we don't know it. Anyway, I thought it would be fun to look at a few things that Shakespeare wrote that writers can find inspirational or instructive. Number 1, to thine own self be true. I have to say I don't think that there's a more important tip than this for writers today. To be honest in your writing, to be authentically you, and to write what you need to write is the most important thing that I think I could tell anybody who wants to be a writer. So listen to Shakespeare and listen to your heart, and don't write what you think you should write or what other people think you should write. Just be you and be true to yourself. Tip number 2, brevity is the soul of wit. I can't tell you how many times I have read writing gurus who have said the same thing in so many words. Clutter, avoid clutter in your writing. Someone once wrote, if you can't explain something in a few words, try fewer. I suspect that that person was a writing teacher. Tip number 3, my library was dukedom enough. There shouldn't be a writer among us who needs to be told that if you don't read, that you shouldn't write. And your library, whether it be on an e-reader or it be walls of books that you have in your own home, in your den, in your family room, this is your domain, your dukedom, your domain, and your library should be enough for you. Tip number 4, talking is not doing, words are not deeds. I think this is a really important one for writers. Talking about writing is not writing. Being on social media and posting things about writing and talking about your writing with other writers and telling people that you're writing a book or you want to write a book is not writing. Attending writers' groups or conferences or online conferences and talking about your writing is not writing. Only writing is writing. And if you don't sit down and actually write, you will never finish a piece of writing. So you will never be able to tell someone that you have written something. And number 5 is, I must be cruel to be kind. When you put yourself out there as a writer, you expect to be judged. And if you don't expect to be judged, you don't understand the realities of writing. You will be judged by anyone who reads your writing, whether that is someone in your family who might say that they liked it, whether they did or not, just to be nice. But more likely it's going to be things like readers and agents and editors, and they're not always going to say nice things about your writing. And sometimes if a critic or a reviewer or a reader is harsh with you and is cruel, that you might think it's cruel, there's something to be learned from it. And it's an opportunity for you to develop that kind of thick skin that writers need. Anyone who wants to aspire to a career in writing is going to have a thick skin. Well, of course, Shakespeare wasn't talking specifically to writers when he wrote those lines. He was talking to everybody. You know, it's been 500 years or more since Shakespeare wrote all of his words, and wouldn't it be interesting if some of your work were read by people 500 years from now? I think I better go back and polish up my work if I want somebody to read it even next month. Talk to you soon. Subscribe to Write, Fix, Repeat, and maybe I can help you improve your writing knowledge and skills. 5 tips at a time.